Where were you born?
New York City.
Okay. Who would you want to who would you want to play you in the movie of your life?
I'd like to play myself if you don't mind.
Okay. I was thinking George Clooney, but
Look, if Babe Ruth could play himself in The Pride of the Yankees, okay? Lou Gehrig obviously was played by Gary Cooper. But Babe Ruth got to play himself. Jackie Robinson got to play himself in the Jackie Robinson story. Why shouldn't I get to play myself? Just because I'm not a big league baseball player?
Right.
That's not sufficient answer. I'm gonna play myself.
What was your first job?
What was my first job?
Yeah.
When I was 12 years old, my old man would get drunk in the basement, then he'd beat me with the empties. And that's not true. When I was 12 years old,
it's not funny.
I got a job washing dishes at Joanna Biniaris's Luncheonette in Bethel, Connecticut. I'm still friends with the Biniarises. I did such a good job washing dishes that we're friends to this day. But yeah, that was my first job. I was 12. I would do it on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, and mornings, and I got paid $1.50 an hour. Which in those days was bad money. That was rip-off.
Okay, well, this of course is 2 questions in 22 minutes.
But there were no other 12-year-olds to join me to go on strike and to form a union.
There you go. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yes.
My biggest fear? My biggest fear would probably be that my daughter and others that I love would walk away from Jesus. I'm going to put that right out there. That's the most important thing in my life. That anybody I love would walk away from the love of God.
Okay.
I didn't mean to be a downer.
You're
asking the questions. I didn't come up with this stuff.
Okay, now here's the other side of this. Who makes you laugh the most?
Other than you?
Yeah, you got it on, you crazy.
Who makes me laugh? I would say, you mean people who are living today?
Yeah,
Nobody.
No favorite comedian.
I was gonna say that. Well, if you go on YouTube and you look up Charlie Callis on the Dean Martin roasts,
oh boy,
or Foster Brooks on the Dean Martin roasts, nobody actually could make me laugh more than they could.
Okay.
So, sorry.
What is the one thing you need to have in your fridge at all times?
That I need to have?
Yes, in your fridge. You need to have it.
I don't think there is anything like that.
Okay. All right. Something cold. What is your greatest accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishment?
Yes.
I would like to think that my greatest accomplishment is far ahead of me at this point in my career.
Yeah. That's a great way to think of it.
Yeah.
Who is the most interesting person you met recently? Now, you've had a lot of people on the radio show.
I literally can't remember whom I've met recently.
It says
met.
Who, yeah.
But no, but who?
Who is the most interesting person recently that you have met?
I've met, who have I met recently? You know, you're with me.
I know.
You've met all kinds of people, but I can't remember.
Right. Well, what about Diamond and Silk? You didn't meet them in person, but you met them.
I didn't meet them in person, but I'm going to meet them.
Yes.
They're going to have me on their show.
Yes, they are.
To talk about this book.
I wrote to their
but you're not going to be able to get a
publicist.
signed book from that show. If you want it, you're going to have to get a signed book. You're going to have to go to premiercollectibles.com/swamp.
Okay.
Now, they're charging $20 for these, right? Folks, that's the list price. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, they were all charging, they may still be charging $20. So for $20, you get a signed book. You can probably get this cheaper if it's unsigned, and I hope you'll buy unsigned copies. But for $20, I mean, as a gift, at this point, for somebody to get this as a gift and to not have it signed, they're going to know you weren't willing to spend the extra $4 or $5.
Few bucks
That's
more.
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
For example, you're trying to impress a woman, because I know there's a couple of guys watching this. You're trying to impress a woman. You give her this book and it's not signed. They're going to go, holy cow, does this guy even have a job? Because a man with a job would be able to afford a signed book. He'd pop the $20 out there without even thinking.
Yeah.
Without even thinking.
And you don't know what Eric's signature looks like, so you can't just write Eric Metaxas and misspell
You can't
taxes.
forge it. I could forge it. I've been forging it all night.
He can.
But you can't.
Not you.
But for $20,
20
I can
bucks.
forge it for
Anyway,
you. No questions asked.
What is your middle name? And by the way, the middle name is not in here. Stumper, huh?
Cedric? Wait, no, don't tell me.
Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm gonna go with John.
Good.
Is that right?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with John too. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Well, here's the thing. If it's really big, it's no longer a pet peeve.
What boils your
You
potato?
ever think
in
about
other
that
words?
when you ask that clever question, huh, Charlie?
Okay.
My biggest pet peeve. Actually, some of my pet peeves have to do with language. I'll give you
Yes.
one that now that I'm going to ruin your life. If you listen carefully to this, this may ruin your life. Everywhere I go, when I say thank you to someone who's like, serve me an iced tea, or any restaurant or anywhere you go, you say thank you. People have seem to have forgotten that the proper answer to thank you is you're welcome.
Huh?
Now they seem to say no problem.
Yeah. No problem.
No problem is incorrect. When people say no problem, snap at them and say wrong. It's you're welcome. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, madam. And I have to tell you, everywhere I go, I mean, the most dignified people now say no problem. It's really weird.
This brings up a point. Saying thank you is a thankless job.
Right.
Okay, next question is going to be, what is your favorite hobby?
I actually don't have any hobbies, I don't think.
Okay.
This is my hobby.
Okay.
It's that sad.
What is the last book you read?
The last book I read, we recently had
He's too busy writing books.
we recently had Mark Helprin at
Yes.
Socrates in the City. Mark Helprin, Helprin, not Halperin. Mark Helprin is a genius writer. And if you watch the last Socrates in the City, you will see me rave and rave and rave and rave about him, because he is probably, I would say certainly the best fiction writer living today. The only people who might compete with him are people like John Cheever and John Updike or Nabokov, who have passed. He, to my mind, is the best fiction writer living. His short stories in the book Ellis Island and Other Stories is the last book that I read. Now, I read it many, many years ago. I read it many times in between. But recently I thought, let me read it again. And it is
And that's funny because I'm reading that.
spectacular.
I'm reading that now
Right?
too.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Right.
All right. What cause is dear to your heart?
What cause
Yeah.
is dear to my heart?
A lot of people
I thought it was
listen.
what cause is dear to your heart, and I thought, dear to your heart, is that a disease? And what causes it? I think probably too much sugar, not enough vegetables in the diet. What cause is dear to my heart? I think the pro-life cause.
Yeah.
I feel that the unborn. Well, I feel that the unborn obviously do not have voices to speak, and we need to speak up for them, and we need to let people know that wherever you are in life, there's no reason for you to deny someone a life. You've had a life. I've had a life. To deny someone life, it's a real human being. To deny them life is not something that is permissible. It's not okay for you to do that. You don't have any right to do that. Now, if you don't want to raise them, that's fine. There are tons of people who love to adopt, and that's beautiful. And you can give somebody the greatest gift in the world, which is a baby, a human life, somebody to love. That's really beautiful. So that's the cause that's closest to my heart.
Good, good. What is number one on your bucket list?
I ain't got no bucket list.
I ain't got none.
But if I did,
If you did,
I think batting fourth for the 1969 Mets. With God, all things are possible. I'm believing God to make that happen.
okay then.
Hey, maybe my faith is bigger than yours, Al.
Oh, it might be. I don't know. I'm in your shadow right now. Do you have any hidden talents?
No, all my talents are on display.
They're right out there.
Yeah, they're
Boom.
right out there.
Right. They're all in this
now,
book.
Now, it depends. When you say hidden, I think that people, there's so many things I like to do, right? I love to sing. I don't get to sing, but I love to sing. So the few times I've done that, I've enjoyed doing that. There are a number of things like that I enjoy doing that I don't get to do. But hidden talents, no.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Did you do it all? That's 22
No,
questions?
no. There's one more here. Where do you want to? Now this is good because you seem to have been everywhere, at least in America. But where do you want to go that you've never been before?
I've not been everywhere in America. There are a number of states that have still not invited me to speak. One of them is Mississippi. Another one is also Mississippi.
You listening down there?
And the third one is Alaska.
Hey, up there?
Hawaii.
Okay, over there?
Guam.
Get on the phone, you guys.
No, but actually, I just recently spoke for the first time in I almost said South Korea, in South Dakota. I've been in North Dakota, South Dakota. I'd never been to South Dakota until very recently, and I really enjoyed it. I was in Sioux Falls.
Yes.
But I've never been to Montana.
These are a lot of states.
I've never been to...
But where would you want to go? I mean, let's just
I've never been invited to Maine to speak. Hey, Maine, what's with you?
Seems like you want to go places that people don't invite you. I mean, is there a place you want to go that...
Well, any place that I've never been. There are actually many places that I've been before. Most people don't know this, and my wife is sitting right here. I don't think she even knows this, but I have a family in the Dominican Republic, a wife and children. I rarely see them, so I'd love to go to the DR and see wife number 2.
Here's a man that loves to give, right here.